Reality therapist perception.
Bachelorette. All right, so it is reactivity TV time, and while the Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise is on hiatus right now, we still wanted to talk about reality TV or TV in general, of course, and give kind of our therapist perspective, our therapist take on dynamics regarding TV. And one of the things that we often say and often remind you all when we talk about the Bachelor franchise is that we are a spoiler-free podcast.
We do like to emphasize that.
And it just like had us thinking about spoilers in general and the role that spoilers play and what we might be able to kind of like understand about this desire to like want to know the outcome.
Even though what you're saying that it's like investigative.
Mm-hmm. That's how it feels.
Yeah.
So first, are you a pro spoilers or no spoilers?
It's funny. It's when I don't care,
mm-hmm.
then I spoil for myself. But if I care too much, if I'm really invested, then I don't want the spoiler. It would just ruin everything.
Wait, say more.
Okay. If like friends of mine are talking about a show and they want to know what happens and I'm not watching that show, I might look up what happens because I'm brought up to speed on where they're at and what the status is, and I'm not going to start watching it because I don't care, but I care enough where I'm like, I wonder what happened.
It piques your curiosity enough to like figure out what they're talking about, but not enough to actually watch the show.
Yes. But then when I really, really like it and I'm really into it, I don't want the spoiler. I just want to see it unfold the way that it's like supposed to unfold.
Yeah, like to be receiving the information at the time the creator intended.
Right.
And in the way that they intended.
I'm just respecting the art.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I feel like I have a lot of thoughts about this, but you know, the reality is that people love a spoiler. Like there are like entire accounts that are dedicated to spoilers, and like how so much of, even when people are talking about shows and movies, it's like spoiler alert, like major spoiler ahead, like if you don't want to know. And so like
it's like giving people a trigger warning.
Literally, yes, it is. And I was thinking about so I'm deep in season 2 of The White Lotus, and at this time of recording there's only one episode left and the season finale is this week, and I cannot get out of the TikTok rabbit hole of theories about what's going on and what the ending's going to be, and there's a part of me that like I don't actually want to know. Like I was in a similar TikTok rabbit hole last week, and people had kind of like put some clues together, and those clues were confirmed in this episode, and I was like kind of disappointed, like kind of bummed to have already known. And I was thinking it would have felt so good to have again seen it as like the creator, the director intended.
It's like finding your Christmas presents before Christmas morning.
Oh,
you think you want it, and then you find them, and then it ruins it.
Yes. Yeah. And so I'm like in this place where like, honestly, because of the show's like kind of intense, and there's a part of me that like wants the spoiler to feel like less anxious. Like I feel like I'd feel more comforted in the outcome or with the outcome if I knew ahead of time. But then the other part of me, yeah, just like you're saying, it would actually spoil the moment for me. And so, yeah, I was kind of thinking about just like why people even want spoilers, like what that even is about. Like, what is your take on that?
I mean, maybe a little immediate gratification
Mm-hmm.
has to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
You just want something when you want something, and that's that. And if there's a chance for you to get it, then why not try?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then there's some people that just want to know before other people know, want to stay ahead of the curve, ahead of the game.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, I do think there is a little bit of like that flex that comes with like, oh, I saw this coming, or like, yeah, I already knew that was going to happen. Um, yeah, I guess I will say like this is the first bachelor bachelorette like seasons back to back that I didn't look at spoilers. And usually I can't help myself. And just like I get to a certain point where I want to know. And my reason for knowing is again like that anxiety, that like not like high level anxiety, but like the stress of not knowing. It feels again like that comfort in the predictable outcome, something I can tolerate. And it's low stakes. What do I care if, Gabby and Rachel get engaged into who? It doesn't affect my life, but like there's something about the
Something
comfort
about
of
knowing.
something about knowing. And I guess it was also making me think of like so much of the way that we engage with media, with TV and movies, like so much of it has to do with comfort. And, the reason that like so many of us have our comfort TV shows. Like how many times can I watch, Friends or my latest kind of comfort TV show that I'm watching on repeat is The Good Place. And like I can probably recite every line, and yet I put it on. And I think, or Harry Potter, it's like I'm in the height of Harry Potter season right now. And there is that comfort that comes with kind of knowing what's going to happen. And I am my guess is that that's similar to spoilers, kind of like knowing the outcome.
Right. Oh, that's so true. Like there's enough uncertainty in the world that like I don't need it on my TV screen.
Yes. Yeah. Ah. Well, now I'm just kind of getting into a whole other that like really brings up a whole other aspect of this, is that like I guess it maybe gives us an opportunity to be really curious about why it might feel so difficult to tolerate the uncertainty of an outcome of characters that literally don't affect us at all. Like that probably speaks to maybe something that's going on for us. But yeah, I mean, that things might feel so unpredictable in real life that we like seek some sense of control.
Let me just know this one thing.
Yeah, exactly. Everything else feels uncertain and out of control. We have control here.
Ooh, nail on the head.
We will continue to be a spoiler-free podcast. Just
We will.
FYI.
We will.
And
because that's not the point of our podcast.
right. Yes, that's true. Yes. But I guess I'll be more honest when I feel tempted to look at some spoilers.
Just have to reflect a little. What
Yes.
am I doing this for?
What am I really needing right now?
But I mean, there's so much truth in that, in regard to anything that we're facing, any habit that we have, anything that we're just so like we think we're so programmed to do, that when we don't stop and think about what the actual point is, then we could be missing out on learning a lot about ourselves.
Ugh, but who wants to do that when you're supposed to be having fun watching TV?
Ugh, so hard. No, I mean you're totally right. It's there's a right time and place for it.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I guess I will say that most of the if I'm really being reflective right now, most of the kind of like content I'm consuming like via TV shows and movies outside of White Lotus is like things I've seen before, and things that feel light and things that feel kind of easy or low stress. I'm not like watching House of the Dragon right now. I just like can't do it.
Mhm.
And I think that probably is something that we can kind of look at, or just like have compassion for ourselves around. Like that's telling us something that like maybe things feel intense, and we can learn about ourselves through our patterns with
I
content.
watch Hallmark Christmas movies. They're terrible,
That's so
but I love to watch them because they're just this sweet little storybook,
Mhm.
whatever, and everything gets tied up with a bow at the end.
Yeah, I was gonna
So
say they're so clean. Like the ending is so clean.
exactly. I
Perfect.
watched one that literally was 13 going on 30, but in Hallmark world. And which also gave me a ton of comfort because I love that movie and I've
Hmm.
seen that movie 1,000 times.
Hmm.
So it was like rewatching that, but Christmas twist.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I mean, it makes sense why we do it, but I guess we can, as you're saying, like gain some insight into ourselves a little bit more.
There's I think in comfort shows and comfort and like the predictability that we're talking about, there's also this way to like I I don't know. I think we're cognizant about the ones that we choose, not just because they're familiar, but because we like the story. We like the um we like what we're getting wrapped up in, whether it's Harry Potter or Hallmark Christmas movie. Um you're like, or Friends, like you're throwing yourself into something that's like, oh, I know this, and like these are my buddies.
Mhm.
These are my people for the moment.
Mhm.
And there's like a little escape factor to that.
Mhm.
And that's nice and
That's
also comforting.
right. From something familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that wraps us up for today. And we're going to continue having some conversations around TV, movies. We might get a little festive as we approach the holiday season, but continue to send us suggestions, whether it's shows or movies that you want our therapist take on. We would love to share. Um, but yeah, okay, let's get into our main topic and our guest.